morning, good afternoon. I'm back in Tel Aviv. I just came from Jerusalem, and now we will go all the way to my house through the most beautiful part of Tel Aviv. If you want to visit Tel Aviv now, together with me, you're most welcome. Are you ready? We are now at the train station. One of them, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 different stations of Tel Aviv. That's will take you to the center of the city. And just to show you the name of the station, Shalom. Tel Aviv Shalom. Shalom, it's peace. You will see a lot of Israeli flags now, mainly because we are celebrating tonight our independence. Israel is 75 years old, and 75 years old, lots of traffic jam, as you can see. Look at the beautiful Azrieli building. One of them is an hotel, the other one are offices, and of course it goes with a shopping mall. Azrieli. You will see the name of Azrieli soon, but we have lots of shopping mall. In a way, the tour will take you from one shopping mall to another. By the way, if that is your first video of mine, you must know that I have ordered 20,000 videos of the Holy Land. So many videos of almost every subject. Then please subscribe to my channel and be part of my family, and you can actually send me a message about it. Look at the flags of Israel. It's not on top of, it's in the middle of, and that's mainly because we are still, it's still part of the memorial day for the fallen of so many soldiers and a victim of terror attack. But soon we're going to celebrate our birthday in a way, as really said. Why it actually goes together? Because without the soldiers, we couldn't actually celebrate our independence. Sadly, we are surrounded with so many enemies countries. Just to tell you something that sounds so strange, we do have I think a nice relationship with Jordan, and still one of their parliament members tried to enter Israel with more than 200 weapons, guns, machine guns. Can you understand that? Parliament member of Jordan. So sad. Then this is Azrieli Junction. It's well known because of demonstrations. For example, tonight they are going to have a huge party in that area. They call it the Democratic Party. We are a little bit suffering from our current government that includes a lot of, as I can say it, fanatic people that want to destroy the democratic rule of Israel. At least that's what they say, and I accept it. Then tonight it's going to be totally different than today. A government building, which is a beautiful building but very boring from the inside, and next to it looks like a fallen tower. It's again business area of Tel Aviv, business center, and it's another building. It might be the highest building of Tel Aviv until now, and some people actually mention of Israel as well. Oh, this is nice. in the place that you've been, there's only empty space left. That is a memorial site for the Memorial Day of the fallen soldiers. About something like 24,000 soldiers. Oops, look at him, who died here. That man that you saw is it's funny and sad to say, it's the symbol of that place. He doesn't want any help, he just wants people to help him, but not from the government. And it's his junction. Although right there you can see the soldier, and behind it you can see the sign that says the Democratic Junction. It's a symbol of the demonstration. And tonight it's going to be totally different than what you see today, what you see now. To cross that junction, it's not so easy. Right there you can see one of the army camps of Tel Aviv. It's a very central one, and look at the red roof against the snow that we don't have in Tel Aviv, but it symbolizes another thing that happened here. I'm taking you now to 1870. In 1870, some Protestant Christians came to Israel. They believed that if they will come and modernize Israel, Christ will come sooner. And that's happened in 1870. It's a group of Germans, Protestant, they call themselves the Templars, that cross that junction, as the junction or the Democratic Junction. This is part of history in a way. That sign saying, let's separate the religion from the states, like in America, for example. Oh, try to cross it, then 3, 2, 1, and I will be at the other side of the street. And here we are at the other side of the junction, Azrieli Junction, and you can see that we have a lot of bicycle lanes. The scooters is a pandemic here. So many, too many. I know that it's not allowed to have something like that in France, in Paris, but here we don't have a good public transportation. Then in that case, although it's a tragedy here, I think it's a must. Then the other side, it's an army camp. Soon to your left side you will see part of Sarona, the German colony of the Templars. And at around 1939, Second World War, the British controlled Israel at that time, and they kicked the Germans out of Israel to the most deserved place, to Australia. And now we have at least 20,000 happy people. Here in Israel there were only 2,000 people, and the reason the British kicked them out is, first of all, because they were Germans. Secondly, 20% of them became Nazis. Can you understand? Can you believe that in Israel we had between 2 to 3 Nazi parties? One of them is here. You can see that we are starting to build the stages for the happiness tonight, and we will, if it's okay by you, we will skip the main road and we will turn left. The main road is important because of another thing. When they build Sarona, they build it on top of the hill, but everything that you see around you were covered with orchards and vineyards, and the shape of the colony was in a shape of a cross. But let me show it to you, and then if it's okay by you, we will travel a little bit through the beautiful village of Sarona. Then the cross goes like that. That part of it, and another part of it. Now, the Sarona people didn't believe in churches, at least at the beginning of their community. Then they have a community house. And the community house was here. In front of you, look how beautiful that building is. Then let me show you how it used to be at the time of Sarona Community Hall. Beautiful, isn't it? We're talking about 1911, and it's all about ceremonies, weddings. At the time of the British, it used to be a cinema, and then at the time of the Israelis, they turned it into a synagogue, and then later on the dining room of the army camp. You can hear some music. They are checking their speakers. Beautiful colony, isn't it? Totally different than Tel Aviv that you know. Then let's talk about how they build houses. Then that one is a Bauhaus house, then it's actually later than the regular houses, but let's talk about that. What you cannot see from here is the basement. There's always a basement in the house. They took a little bit from the Arab and the European, and then usually it was the first, the entrance wasn't like that. They usually had kind of a stairs, and you will see it soon, but the saloon was there, the kitchen, the living room were there, the bedrooms, and there's always alley above it. It was covered with roof against the snow that we don't have. Look how beautiful it is, isn't it? And if you didn't see the falling house, which is the highest building, from here you can see it even better. Next to every building you can see the story of the family who lived here. For example, let's look at the family that live here. Host family. Adolf and Karl Pershing. They had house here and orchard, the biggest orchard in Sarona. I forgot to mention it, behind every building you could see a garden. And let me show it to you today. There's no garden, but they actually left it a little bit. And if we're talking about that, you know what? Let's enter to here. The fence is because of the festival today. And why do we need fences? Mainly because in Israel, they have to check each one who enter and to avoid terror attacks. Then tonight and tomorrow they're gonna have a celebration here with a lot of good music. Water system was here too. Without water you cannot survive. And the beautiful here in, oh look how beautiful it is, in Sarona and in actually in Tel Aviv. If you will excavate, if you'll dig a little bit, you will find a lot of water, fresh water. At nighttime, it's totally different. At nighttime, it's full with pubs, restaurants. There's a food market here. There's so many things, but I'm going home, remember? The beer garden is such an amazing place, and Let's sneak out from there. They have excellent beer for so many places in the world, and I love the beer garden because the food is great as well. Then this is the food, the beer garden. Tonight you won't find any empty space, and look at that. It's not the real one, but it's a replica of the real one who've been here. Let me show you some pictures of it, of the bowling. And that's 1915. You can see the Germans playing here. Kind of the beer garden of that time. Beautiful, isn't it? Then wine and beer was here from 1915. Then you can understand that to have wine at the beer garden here, it's almost obvious. Surprise, surprise, Tel Aviv, there's so many things to see here. Why there's so many toilets, which I won't use anyhow, because of the carnival tonight, the celebration. Remember that they say that there are stairs to the first entrance, to the main entrance. Then here you can see part of it. And the reason there are stairs is to avoid the dust and the insect, you know, bugs, that kind of things. Which, believe me, it's won't help them. Oh, it didn't help them, as I believe. Beautiful, beautiful buildings. The food market, it's straight ahead. We will skip it for today because there's so many things to see on the way home. And I must tell you that I will be happy to go back to my house. The deal was to renovate the ancient part of it, but to build skyscraper all over. And Sarona is surrounded with it. It's a beautiful place, I must say. There's so many hidden things here. I mean, look how beautiful the houses are. Above some of the entrances, you could see some sentences, mainly from the Jewish Bible, the Old Testament. And look at the playground. Sarona. We're going back to the entrance of Sarona. In front of you, you can see the end of the army camp. Tel Aviv, it's a young city. It's only from 1909. Except of that part. That wasn't part of Tel Aviv. Today it's part of Tel Aviv. Rustico is an amazing Italian restaurant. Then let me show you the logo of it. Rustico. Let's go outside. Here you can see the basement and the stairs. The only way is up now in Tel Aviv because there's no more space than skyscraper is the next thing. See, this is a new building. I'm not sure that people are living in it yet. That we are at the main street. It's called Kaplan Street, and to show you that we were conquered by McDonald's, that building is McDonald's. You have too many, and not because I hate it. I can eat everything beside fish, but we have excellent burgers. This is again part of the celebration today. It's going to be a very beautiful happening. It's like demonstration, but happy one. The difference between Memorial Day and a regular day is that you won't hear a lot of nice music. I mean, happy music. If the restaurant will use music, it will be soft. The billboards are not working. I mean, the electronic one. You see the word is core. Remember. Yeah. So I don't know if you can see it well, but we will sit with a candle. Score. And a lot of Zionist building here. One of them been renovated lately, and it looks amazing. You will see it soon. The rest we can deal with it. For example, that one, the World Zionist Organization House. That building in front of you, with a shiny roof now. Renovated in such a nice place. It's belonged to the high-tech something, I believe. And the signs say that democratic is bigger than politic. That building here, the building in Tel Aviv, the light rail, one of the stations will be in that area. It's gonna be Kaplan station. And Kaplan, I wish you will see the name in English in less than 10 seconds. That's how the light rail will be. And if we're talking about that, I'm not sure that I will be alive when they will finish building it. Kaplan Street. Is a name to remember. Usually the tourists are not walking here, sadly. Then you can be the first one. Let's cross it. At Sarona, there are a lot of good restaurants, but here, a little bit windy. There are many good places, and soon you will understand what I'm talking about. Very tasty place. Vesper. Soon we will cross a very important street. You will see it to your right and to your left side. That will be even Geverol Street. Don't worry. You will see the name of that street soon. And if you will turn right and left, there are hundreds of good places to eat. Tel Aviv is full with food. And if there is something special that you want, write me down in the description a comment and tell me what kind of food you like, and if you want it to have cheap one, fast one, or really chef good Very tasty, but very expensive as well. Then beneath Evinge Street, they're building a tunnel of the light line. You can see the tunnel goes all the way down, and happy people are enjoying it. 4.5 kilometers of line underneath the street, but it looks like that they will open it in about 10 years from now. I don't know if it will survive. Then I'm turning now right, because I have to continue straight and I have to cross the street. And here, because of the station, I cannot do that. Then this is Evinge Street. That and the other side as well. Lots of good places to eat. And nothing else to do in Evinge. We are crossing the junction. If you like takeaway Thai Asian food, I like it. Brunit doesn't. Shlomi loves it. My daughter loves it too. It's called Chop Chop. It's cheap, good and fast, I must say. But there are excellent places here. For example, you can see the line for one of the best burgers of Tel Aviv. See what's happening here? It's called GBB. Let me tell you a secret. I didn't eat here. I cannot see myself standing in the line for food unless it's a chef restaurant. I'm kidding. I never ate there. But in another place that I ate, and it used to be the most important place in Tel Aviv for at least 3 or 4 months, actually 2 years. It's in front of you. It's called Amiznon. And it's a chef restaurant, but everything is in pita bread, like a steak in pita bread. Chicken liver with pita bread. It's very tasty, I must say. The people that work there are really crazy, and it's very happy, and it's good environment. But of course today it's the end of the Memorial Day, and it's a little bit calm. But there are so many options here and there. And one day we will be able to cross it. Oh yeah, use the horn. Without it you won't survive. That's Amiznon. Every day it's crazy, loud music, music, loud music, loud people. Today it's very calm. We are climbing now Dizengoff Street. Dizengoff Street is very important street, mainly because from Dizengoff 60 to Dizengoff 200 there are a million pubs and boutique shops and a shopping mall. And remember, it's from a shopping mall to a shopping mall, and it took me only half an hour. Took a little bit more than half an hour to cross it from the train station to my house. Usually I'm taking a bus, but today I felt the energy. I'm not planning taking this. It's rare. Today I went to the West Mall for the memorial service, but that I planned, but I didn't know what I will do next. I took the train because I felt that I must go back to Tel Aviv. It was very difficult for me to be part of the service, but I felt that I need to do something else, and here it is. Dizengoff Street, very easy name to remember, and soon you will see it. Of course you won't. It's there, the other side, not in my side. You know what, you will see it soon. To the left, you can see the Philharmonic Hall that was built in a Bauhaus style. And if we're talking about Bauhaus style, look how beautiful is that building. So difficult to see it from here. I will have to cross to the other side. It was built in 1936. Bauhaus. Let's talk a little bit about it, but let's stand in the shade, because the sun is now at the seaside. And from here to the sea, it's 20 minutes walking. Look how beautiful is that building. Bauhaus. In Europe, and especially in Germany, they discovered the cement, and the new architecture style was simple. The idea is that people can live in houses and they don't need to pay a lot of money. Then, from the outside, square things. Here you can see that the windows are not so big, because the problem with Israel is too much sun. But there's a balcony in each place, and down there there's a shade that the children can play and not run into the street. It's beautiful, isn't it? One of the most beautiful and simple Bauhaus houses. But I want to cross to the other side and don't look at to the right and to the left, because I'm crazy. I'm not supposed to do that. I wanted to see the Philharmonic House and another thing. I mean, this is the back side of it. And there's shade here as well. When they built Tel Aviv, they built some boulevard. For example, look how beautiful that boulevard. Sderot Chen. Sderot, it's boulevard. Chen, it's the name of one of the people that we honored him. Beautiful, isn't it? And there's a lot of things to see there. I must say that I have a lot of videos of Tel Aviv, but there are more and more things that I can talk about. They just finished renovating one of the first museums of Tel Aviv, then a Bauhaus building. At the beginning, when they built it, they thought that that is more than enough. Today we have a huge modern art museum that was called, it was a museum by Helena Rubinstein. Remember that name? She donated the money for that. You can see a little bit of it. It looks like the first exhibition will be here soon, which is beautiful. The problem is that they are dealing of the name of that place. Helena Rubinstein was the original name of it, and now it's they will change the name to Offer, whatever. Someone else to donated a lot of money for the renovation, and there's a lot of debate about it. The entrance will be here, and they will open it soon. It's part of the Tel Aviv Museum of Art. You see the cover it, Eyal Ofer. Yeah, Eyal Ofer. Oops. Remember that it's crazy? Then this is an example for one of them. Jacob garden was my garden as a child. My sister and I used to play it a lot. There's 2 fig trees there, sycamore trees. One of them was my kingdom. I think that was my sister kingdom. I'm not sure. I was 5 years old at that time. And the other one was mine or her. That's the one. I loved that garden until today. I feel that it's, in a way, my secret house. Did you subscribe my channel? Are you part of my family? Oh no, it's 35 minutes. You must be. If you love that kind of videos and you want to support my channel, be my guest. There are a few options to support it. The first one is by PayPal. Second one is by Buy Me Coffee link. And all of that, the links are at the description. And you can always send me a message and I will send you the link. And the third option is a new option. Beneath the video, the place that you can actually mark the like, there's a heart. And if you pushing it, then you will see that there is another option to support. Then you can do that. I will be happy. If we're talking about good places, that some of my fat comes from here. This is a new bakery of two girls. They were 18 years old 2 years ago, then around 20. And it's a really excellent bakery with excellent coffee. As you can see, no music. Alright, in that area, beside the two, there are more than one bakery here. You can see the Philharmonic Hall right here. And look how beautiful is the garden. And if you followed my video and you saw the end of the memorial night tour, then it's actually ended here. Look, this is amazing, isn't it? A green space around that. Around that concrete area, and this is the ugly side of one of the theaters of Israel. It's called Habima, and everyone knows that place has the Habima Square, although it's called the Philharmonic Band Square. A lot of children are playing here. Sadly, there's not a lot of shade here, and the one who built it said that in any square in the world, in Europe you won't find shade area. Yeah, but in Europe there's not a lot of sun. Then here we can use it only from, let's say, afternoon or very early morning. Then this is Habima Square, and that's the Philharmonic. And Rochelle Avenue is in front of you. Rochelle Avenue is very good place to visit, to mingle. There are a few places to eat, but not in that side, in the other side. And a pub, Rubina, and excellent bakery, another bakery. It's called Lachmanina. And another restaurant and a bar, which I always forget the name of it, but it's excellent, because I never ate there, but there's a lot of people there. let's go that way. We're heading to my house, but we're gonna cross it a little bit because I want you to see Dizengoff Square, and then we're gonna say goodbye. Oh, I like when people are shouting. She doesn't like something. Oh, she likes to shout. Every plant is for 45 shekels. Look at that colors of it. I wish that I could buy myself. I can buy it. I don't have a place in my house for more plants. But this is so beautiful. Oh, olive trees. I want an olive tree in my house. Another option, Chama Vachetzi. Not a bad one, I must say. You see that it's full with people. When I'm taking tourists, they always look at me and say, no one here is a tourist. It looks like you're not working in Israel. You cannot say that. They are wrong. This is the Bima Theater, and to show you the name of it, Bima Square. We are using another boulevard, and the coffee place here, the kiosk, is the secret of Tel Aviv. This is where the Israelis, the Tel Avivis are eating and drink coffee. I can tell it to you because you're not Israelis, and you can actually enjoy it too. But the minute the people outside Tel Aviv will discover it, then the people of Tel Aviv will move to a different kiosk. Look how many good sandwiches there are here. It's a totally not kosher. An excellent cafe. And you can see that the Tel Avivis are enjoying in there. In that place again, young music. It's still Memorial Day. But it's beautiful, isn't it? And the end of that boulevard, I live. But we will continue another 10 minutes to Dizengoff Square, and there we will say goodbye. I really love what I'm doing, and if you do have some questions, don't hesitate. You are already 43 minutes in that beautiful tour, and I will be happy to hear what you're thinking about. I can see the sea from here. From the end of the boulevard, it's only 10 minutes walking, slowly walking through some bakeries and other good restaurants. You can understand that I'm eating too much. The gay flag in Tel Aviv, you will see a lot of them. It's the gay capital of the Middle East, Tel Aviv. I love Tel Aviv because it's a democratic city. You can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want unless you will hurt the other. If you will say, go away because of no reason, it means that the people of Tel Aviv will kick you out of Tel Aviv. For example, Jerusalem, it's a conservative city. And Tel Aviv and Jerusalem is like two different countries. I don't know if you will be able to see at the end. Let me see. Can you see the blue part of the sea? This is Bugrasov. Here it is, Mediterranean Sea. It's difficult. I have to move slowly. Yes, now I can see it. Then the Sea of Tel Aviv is very close to here. I live 10 minutes from it, and still the last time that I entered the sea was, I don't know, 20 years ago. No, my daughter was around 5 years old. She's 18 now. Then you can count. Oh, Dizengoff Street. Let me show you how it looks like, and then I will explain you why it's very easy name to remember. Dizengoff. And Dizengoff, it's very easy name to remember because there's so many pubs there. Now when we will visit it, you won't see it because the pubs will be open only tonight. But after the 5th or the 6th beer, you might feel a little bit Dizengoff. It's the name of the first mayor of Tel Aviv. This is Ben Zion Boulevard, the son of Zion Boulevard, and we are reaching to a junction, and to the right and to the left it's King George Street, and I live in King George Street. King George is not a Jewish name, it's not a Zionist name, but that was the king that in his time they declare of Balfour Declaration. And in Balfour Declaration, Israel was supposed to be Israel. Palestine wasn't supposed to be because wasn't a reason for that at that time. And Jordan was supposed to be part of Israel as well, biblical Israel. Then, in one of those ugly buildings, I live. But it's not so important for us. All right. It's going to be something around 50 minutes today of walking. Then I will be less fat. I'm not sure because I'm going to eat a lot later on. Then we reach King George Street. Let's cross the boulevard. And then that building used to be a cinema hall of mine. I loved it, but now it's a nice bar and excellent theater for music of new young bands. I love to be there. Then there are small halls for that, and a CD/record shop. It's called Ozen. And you know what? Nothing will happen to you if you will reach Ozen and listen to Israeli new groups. And this is the city. Many years ago it used to be my kingdom. I had more than 600 records. Yeah, many years before the MP3 and Spotify and CDs. To the left you can see part of Dizengoff Center, which is a shopping mall. It's nice if you want to buy yourself something local, for example. And one of the examples here is Castro. Castro is an Israeli design, where though it doesn't sound like in Israel. Castro. It's a very chic-y thing. I buy a lot from Castro, mainly at the sell options. For example, let me show you a little bit of it. This is the new collection of Castro. Here it is. If you like it and you want to have something that you won't have in your state, in your country, this is the place. Castro. Men, women, and children. We will be here together in about another 5 or 6 minutes, but join me. Another Israeli fashion which you won't see here, but it's worth visiting. Fox, again, the animal, fox. Renoir, sounds like a French design, but it's actually Israeli. Ronaldina, by the way, it's a nice bakery. The newest bakeries that I show you, I think it's better. Ronaldina must understand that if they want to be different, they must invent themselves every time. 7-Eleven, funny to say, but it's new in Israel. This is the first 7-Eleven, and they opened it, I don't know, three months ago. You know what is 7-Eleven. I don't need to explain you about it. There's so many entrances to the shopping mall. Aldika, I think it's an Israeli, but I'm not sure. It's a little bit tricky, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. This is the boring part of this, unless you like shopping malls. The other side, that's where I'm going to show you. That's where we're going to end the tour. Is the beginning of the chic coffee places, excellent bakeries, excellent restaurant and boutique shops, and bars. Remember, it's all about alcohol. Then stay with me for another few minutes, and that's it. מה שלומך? Well, I didn't know it. Remember Israeli flags? The Independence Day. Another Bauhaus building. UNESCO declared Tel Aviv as the white city, and that's the Bauhaus city. The difference with the weather between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, it's the same heat, but here there are more, I can feel the humidity. In Jerusalem it was so dry. Here it's less dry. It's still a good time to visit Tel Aviv. August, September, or July and August are, how should I say that? I won't go with jeans. I will walk with short trousers. Although today I could do it too, but because I came to Tel Aviv, to Jerusalem, I was more decent. A new coffee place they're opening here. We're reaching Dizengoff Square, and around Dizengoff Square there are lots of good places, a lot of good coffee places and ice cream, gelato. And that's going to be the end of the tour, but I wanted to see it before we will say goodbye. Yes, we do have a lot of dogs in Tel Aviv. You won't see a lot of dogs in Jerusalem. And let me promote another place that I love. It's called the Gallery Bauhaus Center Tel Aviv. And it's a beautiful modern shop with everything that's connected to Tel Aviv and Bauhaus. And they usually have a gallery down there. They have exhibitions. If you like Tel Aviv history and Bauhaus, this is the place to mingle in. Don't have to buy, but there's so many products, a lot of memories that you can actually buy yourself from that beautiful city. Someone told me, one of the tourists told me that Tel Aviv is an ugly city, old buildings like that, and a little bit boring, but excellent vibes, excellent people. And about Jerusalem, beautiful houses, but the people are less. There is something with that because the vibes is here. Then if you plan to be only in Jerusalem, and you like good life, then don't ever miss Tel Aviv. This is the beginning of the square and the good food area. Let me see that it's so crowded. It's in Cuckoo Hotel. This is the hotel. Cuckoo Hotel, I call it Cuckoo Cafe. Excellent food. Excellent kitchen. If you just want bakery, something to eat and go, the bakery it's called, it's kosher, then it's not open on Saturday. Most of the places are not kosher, but here is another kosher place. It's called Ilan's Cafe. Ilan, it's the name of a person, of a baker. I mean, excellent food, but no cheese together with meat. There's only, if I remember correctly, only dairy products. Ilan's. It's called Tati. Oh, a different name, Tati. It used to be Ilan's, maybe they switched to a different thing. This is the square, and let's us make a run tour, at least half run tour. And you will see a few more places to sit and eat and mingle. The kitchen is the first one. Lots of good seafood, totally not kosher. A lot of fish, excellent food. People really love it, but remember, I don't like fish. Tel Aviv, it's a young city. And that used to be another cinema of mine. Now it's an hotel cinema. What can I tell you? It's not a bad hotel. The rooms are very small, but who came to be in a room in Tel Aviv? You can always go to the sea, to the museums, to the restaurants. The mayor, I think, must give me a prize, a good prize for that. I love my city, and this is a totally Bauhaus square, built in 1938. As a child, I used to play here a lot. Then the kitchen is the first one. Booty, second place, is all about good sandwiches and good sweet things, like it's in a bakery, but you're buying there and eating outside, no service. If you're talking about no service, Pinoli, excellent gelato. And my favorite, it's not my favorite, a place that I really love their bakery things, it's here, it's called the Bakery. It's of a very famous chef. I don't know if I can enter with the camera. Oops. But you can see a little bit from here how good it can be. Excellent place to eat, and the coffee is a very good one. Now remember that we started with the beer garden of Sarona, the German colony. Then there's another one, and they say that there's no connection between each other, and I accept it. Oh, remember we saw something like that, to kind of a memory for only a few days of the Memorial Day of another soldier, another Israeli guy that is not with us, another people who died because of terrorists, and he's not with us. There's a hole in our soul. Now, beer garden is right in front of you. I love that place, and they have excellent German sausages with excellent beer and wine. But they have breakfast, brunch. You see that there's not a lot of alcohol now. At night time it will be 100% beer bar. And another favorite, coffee place and bakery. It's called Nachat. I know it's a horrible name, Nachat. But I will show you there. logo of it. They have special coffee. So many kinds of coffee, and the bakery is delicious. Nachat. One day we will be able. Oh, look at the love. Isn't there? Oh, beautiful love. Alright, there's no cars. We can cross it. Nachat. I know, horrible name. But who said that Hebrew? It's a Hebrew language again. You're buying it in, and then sitting outside if you will find a place. There's a lot of, I'm looking for the, that's the logo of it. Nachat. Nachat coffee. The smell is such an amazing smell. And we won't continue because I really want to take a shower and to rest before the Independence Party, and I'm gonna celebrate tonight. Then that's Dizengoff Street. Remember, bars, shopping, boutique shops, like doesn't look like a boutique shop, but it is. Usually designers to the bar horror. And that was a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for visiting with me. It's 1 hour and 1 minute. See you in my next video. Bye bye.